I feel like somebody needs to speak up from the perspective of a lighter skinned female. I'm not calling myself light skinned. I do not consider myself light skinned. Somebody needs to speak up from that perspective. The conversation is mostly being had by those that are affected or heavily affected by the issue.
Welcome back to No Narc Network TV, River Queen Conjure and Oshun Ajay exclusive. I am the Oracle, Oshun Ajay. So today we're going to delve into the issue of colorism as a facet of narcissism. Any form of hierarchy, first off, breeds narcissism, okay? Because it's essentially stating that, someone is higher or quote unquote better than another person, okay? So racism, being, the root of colorism has created this narcissistic hierarchy within, other races, okay? This is not only in, the African American or the indigenous races, but it is in all people of color, okay? All people of color, on this planet, suffer from racism, based upon the premise of white being quote unquote better. Okay. So just as those who benefit from racism choose not to or cannot relate to those who are being oppressed by it, it's the exact same dynamic across the board with whatever race that you belong to, that any race that has varying skin complexions, those who are considered to be closer to that of what is considered to be the dominant race, okay, the dominant society. So those who are quote unquote lighter complected, regardless of whatever race you are, due to this hierarchy being in place, those who benefit from it have become accustomed to preferential treatment. This doesn't always result in full-blown narcissism, but it does, however, breed the false delusions of grandeur, the sense of entitlement, the arrogance and overinflated ego. And many also exhibit the lack of empathy for those who are being oppressed by the same hierarchy that exalts them for simply looking, more like the quote unquote oppressor, and not at all negating the fact that, all people of color suffer some form of oppression due to racism. However, those who benefit from, colorism within the race tend to negate the fact that the darker that your skin complexion is, the more of a target you are for the racists and for the colorists. So at the end of the day, the darkest people on the planet are always the ones getting the shortest end of the stick, okay? And so just as, black people of all color complexions, want to tell white people that they are not qualified to speak on black issues because they simply have not lived that experience. When it comes to colorism within the race, a lighter complected black person who has benefited from that hierarchy is also not qualified to speak about the experience of a darker complected black person who, again, is always getting the shortest end of the stick when it comes to racism and when it comes to colorism. Okay. But when a darker complected person makes the statement that I just made, it is always analyzed by those who are not of darker complexion as a quote unquote complaint, rather than what it is, which is a simple statement of the facts. Okay. So I had originally included some juicy clips and some great commentary from the Basketball Wives, but Viacom actually blocked my video after I sat and did all that editing and work to get it done. It was blocked because I used some of their clips. So basically I was talking about the drama going on between OG and Evelyn Lozada, where basically Evelyn Lozada has said a bunch of racist remarks towards OG, and I had basically used the circumstances that they were going through to point out how racism is blatant, you know, in television and media. And I was just pointing out, you know, the obvious imbalances in the way that, you know, these two women were being treated. Okay. So I still have some commentary left, and I think I can still pretty much paint the picture for you guys. Okay. Okay. To make a long story short, basically, OG and Evelyn ended up getting into it. Evelyn called OG ugly, and OG basically responded by saying, well, your ex-husband didn't think I was ugly. Okay. At which point, Evelyn felt the need to produce some old text messages she thought was going to prove that, you know, what OG was saying wasn't true. And then so OG pulled out her phone and showed that the text messages that that Evelyn had been doctored, and she showed the real messages, which showed that basically Chad had friended her first, and that he was, you know, he was the one, you know, basically pursuing her. So at this point, Evelyn had received a narcissistic injury. So she decides to play the victim now, and all of a sudden she wants to file a restraining order. She says that OG is extremely aggressive and that she needs to be protected from her because OG was taunting her with her quote unquote abuser. Now, mind you, she had just gone to her quote unquote abuser to get the text messages that she was trying to use to bust OG out. But once OG topped her with her text messages, then all of a sudden she's the victim. And then Shawnee and all the other women on the show basically backed her up, saying that they didn't want OG to sit with them on the reunion. Now, all of these women are known to be violent and to be aggressive. OG hasn't fought anybody. Evelyn has fought just about everybody on the show, and yet they let her stay on the stage and wanted to put OG backstage. So basically this big uproar came about, you know, at the blatant colorism that is going on the show, as well as, you know, all over the world and in the media as well. Okay. So I was just trying to set it up. I wish I wouldn't have had to just talk like that. I wish I could have played the original video that I created, but I had no choice but to make the best of it. So basically, after OG showed all her receipts, Evelyn does an interview saying that, you know, you act like you want him or something. I already married him. I slept with him. He, you know, I don't want him. I'm good. And so, you know, the whole point is, if he's your abuser, why are you so proud about being married to him for like 20 days, you know?
Talks about him like he didn't headbutt her and he wasn't paying for a whole other family's way of life and living. The way she talks about him, like, I fucked him, I live with him, like it's like they keep in contact or something, you know what I'm saying? So I don't understand that part. Y'all were married for 20 days, he headbutted you, but you still keep in contact. She called OG ugly. A lot of people have been calling OG ugly. That shit blows me. Like, where is she ugly at? But she called OG ugly, so OG was like, your man don't think I'm ugly. Now, that's a simple response, right? If you're in an argument with somebody and they call you ugly, you say, your man don't think I... Isn't that a very simple response? So why did Evelyn and her little whack-ass crew of Shawnee and Kristen and Malaysia and Feces go back to the room like, I can't believe she said that. Like, why are you bringing up her ex-husband? Why this, why that, and the third? So Evelyn decides to reach out to Ocho Cinco and ask him. First of all, you talking to a nigga. A nigga is gonna lie. Especially your nigga. Your ex-nigga. He's going to lie. So you reach out to him. He lies to you and say, I won't try to get with that girl, because that's, of course, what he's going to say. He deletes some messages off of Twitter. That's really easy to do, or however they were DMing. Then he screenshots it and sends it to you, and you just think it's law. You just think, oh, this is it right here, dumbass. Like, what the fuck?
You a dumbass, tired ass bitch. I got kids, I got family, I got A+ credit, I got a mother. Ooh, that no one wants. Evelyn screaming at me, pounding her totally normal. I'm calmly responding, and I'm aggressive. Your will get all mother day.
So this is the post that OG posted here. Evelyn writes, everyone boycott this trash box. You are disgusting. Nobody watches you harder than the people that can't stand you. Then she made a little monkey emoji at the bottom. So then OG retweeted this on Twitter and she wrote, wow, so now black women are monkeys. And so she also goes on to say, and there it is. Show your true colors, you racist bigot. You called Cece Ling Ling, Jackie a cockroach, and now me a monkey. May God take care of you well, Evelyn Lozada. At VH1, not okay. So that's what she wrote, and that went viral. So a lot of people have been coining Evelyn a racist and a colorist.
I do believe that the whole season was surrounded by this colorism, aggression, blah, 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 BS that's been put out here. I do think that. However,
Ain't no however.
Evelyn should have known better than put that shit on Instagram. Like, I have no defense because she should have known better than put that on Instagram, okay?
But even though she appeared to be the victim, many didn't believe her story. And here's why.
So as y'all can see, Evelyn has never, been one to back down from a fight. She has no problem throwing drinks in people's faces, throwing bottles, chasing people with bamboo sticks, which is what she was doing the day that OG simply pushed her away from Cece because she was trying to bust Cece in the head with a stick. Now, all of a sudden, they're trying to say that OG is the one who's overly aggressive, though she has never fought anyone. OG simply defends her friend and defends herself when they try to bully her. Shani doesn't say anything when Evelyn is bullying everybody else, but all of a sudden she needs a restraining order. Girl, bye. Evelyn actually did an interview trying to spin this whole narrative about how OG was, taunting her with her abuser. But she had just gone to the same quote unquote abuser to get the fake text messages that she was trying to use against OG. And then she just got mad when OG had the real text messages that showed her and Chad's responses back and forth to one another. Then all of a sudden, like the typical narcissist that she is, Evelyn all of a sudden wants to play the victim and wants to claim that OG is taunting her with her abuser. Okay.
Evelyn Alexandra Lozada, you and your forehead really don't come from the Bronx. See, Evelyn, I'm gonna need you and Fun Guy to crawl back under the rat-infested sewers that y'all came from, trying to come on TV, act like you tough, only going after women that you think you can beat up, only to come across your match. See, they say in life, not just they, let me use myself as an example. My grandmama them, daddy them, mama them, auntie them, always said that in life, everybody has a match, and you cannot whoop everybody's behind. And Evelyn learned that the hard way when she tried to go after CC on this show, and OG just gave her the line back.
So as y'all can see, all of these ladies are aggressive. They all fight each other. They sleep with each other's men. They do all of the things that they are trying to ostracize OG for, okay? On top of calling her ugly, calling her a monkey, and trying to, again, keep her separate from the group, when she hasn't actually fought anyone, but she's the only one who had an actual restraining order filed on her. Yet they all want to deny that this is indicative of the blatant colorism that we see in television and media all the time.
But it seems like the conversation is mostly being had by those that are affected or heavily affected by the issue, and because of that, which would be dark-skinned black women, everybody is quick to jump on them and say, oh, they're bitter, or oh, they're making it up, or they don't really experience that. Like, they're just basically just saying, oh, well, it's their fault for feeling that way. And I don't feel like that's fair. I don't feel like it's fair that we are trying to negate the fact that black women, dark-skinned black women, go through a different type of struggle, and that struggle is colorism. As a female that is of a lighter skin tone, I just feel like so many light-skinned females fail to ignore it, and it's like this blatant just like lack of concern for the issue because it does not affect them, because we don't feel the we don't feel the negative effects of it as often. And I can say that myself because I am somebody too who benefits from quote unquote light skin privilege.
If we take a closer look at many of our favorite iconic staple black shows, we would find that there are stereotypical and colorist characters who propel this idea that light skin is the right skin. Number 1 on the list is The Proud Family. Okay, The Proud Family is an animated sitcom that ran on Disney Channel from 2001 to 2005. Penny Proud was the main character. She was a 14-year-old girl played by Kyla Pratt. Her characteristics are listed as she listens and respects her parents. She usually is the mediator when issues arise within her friendships. She's a straight-A student, and she is a poet. Dejanay Jones is Penny Proud's best friend. Her characteristics are selfish, untrustworthy. She's a gossiper and often gets Penny into trouble. She's the loud, aggressive, ghetto girl that no one wants romantically.
Hey, I'm not nervous anymore. Told you, Penny. She touches me, I'm out of here.
But let's be honest, there is a trend of black families in the media. You know, you have the light-skinned mom, you have the brown or dark-skinned dad, you have the 2 ambiguous daughters, and the unambiguous son. Like, that's usually the equation. Now, speaking of swiping out dark skins for light skins, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So we have Vivian Banks, who is the wife, was played by Janet Witten and Daphne Reed. Once again, very obvious character and personality changes. Dark skin on Viv was what you call a strong black woman. In a good way, because I know some people think being a strong black woman is not a good thing, but she was a strong black mom in a good way. She was very active in educating her children. Dark skin Aunt Viv just had this air about her where she was not to be fucked with, okay? But she was still personable at the same time. In my opinion, light skin Aunt Viv, she seemed more, she didn't have that same oomph that dark skin Aunt Viv had, and I don't think it's because she's light skinned. They probably wanted someone who had less oomph. You know what I'm trying to say? Where all my 90s babies at? The show centered on the lives of 6 friends who share personal and professional experiences living in Brooklyn. And I tell y'all, I love Living Single, and I still watch it to this day. I mean it. So we have Max, who is the dark-skinned character, and she is the stereotypical dark-skinned character. He's always at the house, uninvited most of the time, eating up everybody's food, sticking in her opinion where nobody asks for it, you know, really aggressive with the guys. Regine Hunter, who's played by Kim Fields, and she's a stereotypical light-skinned character. She's the bougie friend, she's fashion-forward, and she's obsessed with men. The Steve Harvey Show is a sitcom that aired on the WB from 1996 to 2002. Wendy Raquel Robinson played Regina Greer, who was the principal of the school. She was sexy, educated, independent, and desired by every man. Now, in my opinion, Lovita Alize Jenkins Robinson, she's not necessarily dark-skinned. I feel like she's more brown, but we can all acknowledge that a lot of times brown-skinned women do get lumped in with dark-skinned women, especially when there are lighter-skinned and biracial and white-passing women around. She would automatically be the dark-skinned girl.
I'm a step ahead of you, Miss Greer. I already made out a list of names of people I think we can afford. Let's see. Parker Jr., the Silvers, Lisa from Kojam. She go to my church. That's okay, Lovita. None of those acts are necessary.
You just a ghetto internet, aren't you?
Lovita Alize Jenkins Robinson was the secretary to Regina Greer. She was loud, ghetto, inappropriate for the workplace, and honestly, she really did crawl so that Tiffany Haddish and Cardi B could walk. Coming to last but certainly not least, we have Martin. Martin was a sitcom that aired for 5 seasons on Fox from 1992 to 1997. Martin was one of the network's highest rated shows during its run. Tisha Campbell played Regina, aka Gina Payne, who was Martin's girlfriend and later became Martin's wife. Her characteristics were the peacemaker, you know, she's the logical one, she breaks up the fights, she has a good job, she's a good girlfriend to Martin. Now, Tachina Arnold played Pamela, aka Pam James, and she is described as sassy. She's Gina's best friend, she's boisterous, she's always looking for a man, she's always the butt of Martin jokes. And the thing is Martin did a lot of improv. So a lot of the jokes, they weren't written, you know, it wasn't something that he had to rehearse and read from a script. These were his own jokes. And oftentimes he would refer to Pam as a dog, a beast, nappy-headed, a breath stink, she can't get a man, she can't keep a job. I mean, honestly, I feel like Pam got it the worst out of all the stereotypical dark-skinned best friends. She got it the worst from Martin because he was good at it.
So the point being made here, you guys, is that colorism is a real thing that exists, okay? It's in the media, it's in the cartoons, it's in your everyday life. I know a lot of you witnessed me being accused of, attacking Jamila because she's lighter complected, when, that was never mentioned in anything that I have ever said to anyone, let alone to her, okay? I was simply telling her to stop being a narcissism abuse victim. And somehow she converted that into needing to make a video talking about how she's been being bullied all her life by dark-skinned women. So where she got the assumption that that was the reason why I said what I said to her, I have no idea. But like I said, colorism is a facet of narcissism, okay? And we all know that narcissists will say things that have to have no basis in truth or reality, okay? So her delusion of someone attacking her because her light skin somehow makes her better exists only in her mind, okay? No one has ever heard me even say the word white or light-skinned privilege, again, because that was not the focus of anything that I was trying to teach or talk about, okay? But I just wanted to make this video to point out, the elephant in the room that, a lot of lighter complected black people like to pretend that they don't understand that there is a difference. Though racism exists, there is a difference because of colorism in the way that black people are treated. And this is all contingent upon your color complexion, okay?
Damien is talking about his child's skin color, and apparently, allegedly, Bianca does not sound happy. Let's play it.
She got her daddy jeans. Okay. Ain't that right?
Hold up.
She about to be my color. I'm about to
find somebody
in the family that's my color. Cause DJ and Kyrie, he like you. She's not gonna be your color.
Oh.
First of all, they shouldn't even be having this conversation over that baby, okay? The look of disgust and disappointment on her face while holding that newborn baby. Do you not think that that baby cannot feel that nasty, ugly, dirty, demonic, narcissistic energy? Ugh.
What you mean?
He means I'm gonna be black.
He light skinned too, so...
Hold up. He used to be light skinned. He probably was. I haven't seen photos when he was younger. Let's keep watching.
What's wrong? Y'all don't believe me? I hate when he says that. Babe.
Okay, so she doesn't like the fact that... Okay, so... He's not going to be your color. Is that a problem? What does she mean by that? What does she mean by he's not going to be his color? You know what I mean?
If you don't want a dark baby, quit opening your legs to dark penis, okay?
And then she rolls her eyes because he used to think that he's light-skinned. Let's keep watching.
Mom, he showed me pictures. He was not.
What? Did you see my baby pictures when I was first born?
Okay, so he's talking about when he was first born. He would have came out white, and then later on the skin color would have changed.
DJ and Kyrie, like you.
She's not gonna be your color.
I don't know if she's saying it like, she's not gonna be your color, or is she saying it in, like as if she's not going to be your color, Damien. Like, I don't want my baby to be black. It's hard to tell, so I don't know. It's hard to tell. Let's keep watching.
Well, I used to be light-skinned too, so...
Yeah, she rolled her eyes about him saying that she used to be light-skinned. She doesn't like it when he says that. He probably sounds insecure when he's saying it. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know how to take this. What do you guys? How do you guys take?
It's not that she doesn't like his insecurities. Narcissists don't care about other people's insecurities. She is upset because he is implying that if he started out that light and ended up this dark, that their child could also end up as dark as the father. Okay?
Let me know in the comment section below. Personally, it's hard to tell. Because I honestly thought she wanted a chocolate baby. You know what I'm saying? She wanted a little chocolate jump with blue eyes.
It's only natural that anyone would think that if you sleep with a dark man that you wanted a dark baby, okay? Otherwise, why would you sleep with a dark man, okay? The reason why she slept with a dark man is because she enjoyed being fetishized by this black man with extremely low self-esteem and a deep enough self-hatred that he felt it extremely important to let these white folks know that he was their color in his first few minutes of life.
So...
when I was first born?
Okay,
I was whiter
listen.
than you. And your mom. I was like your mom color when I was born.
Everybody is.
She's white. She's not your mom color.
See how she goes, she's light. She makes it sound like she'll be disappointed if the child was dark.
So these light-complected colorist narcissists, they will sleep with a dark-complected man, but because they enjoy being fetishized by that man. They enjoy being put on a pedestal by this man because he hates his own skin color. So he chose her because he wanted to have lighter-complected children, okay? And she chose him because she liked being put on a pedestal and being put above darker-complected women, okay? But when it comes to the children, she doesn't mind if her sons come out with dark complexion because she associates dark complexion with masculinity. But if her daughter comes out with dark complexion, then her daughter is going to have problems because in her heart, she does not want a dark complected daughter. Okay, so there are a lot of dark complected little girls right now who are being raised by these lighter complected narcissistic colorist mothers. They cannot relate to their little girl's struggles, and they really don't care to, because again, they are narcissists, so they have absolutely no empathy for it either. So the little girl ends up growing up feeling first unloved by her mother and then by the world. Okay?
See how she's like, she's light? It's that tone. It's the way she said it. It makes people feel, oh, so you're not going to be happy if she was dark-sick again. So I completely understand now why everyone be dragging her across the internet, because she make it sound like she's not happy if the baby is going to be dark-skinned.
During her appearance at BeautyCon in New York City, Zendaya opened up about her experiences with diversity in Hollywood. While on stage, she pushed for change and basically said she's tired of being Hollywood's acceptable version of a black girl. Zendaya started off her powerful statement by saying, quote, "As a black woman, as a light-skinned black woman, it's important that I say, listen, I'm using my privilege and my platform to show you how much beauty there is in the African-American community." She went on to say,
you know, Hollywood's, I guess you could say, acceptable version of a black girl, and that has to change. You know what I mean? Like, we're vastly too beautiful and too interesting for me to just be the only representation of that.
And just like that, the clip of Zendaya pushing for change went viral, and fans all over the world applauded her for being so open and for taking a strong stand for change. One fan wrote, quote, "I love that Zendaya openly discusses colorism and her privilege because many of her peers act like it's not a thing." Another fan tweeted, "This is why she will always have my support. She always says what needs to be said." While user Eva thanked Z for being so inspiring by tweeting, "Zendaya, you're amazing and very inspiring. I love your self-love speech because everyone should practice this. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Queen."
Thank you all for tuning in. The next video regarding color and colorism is going to be all about melanin and melanin magic, okay? So until we meet again, my people, keep it classy, keep it clean, and do what you gotta do to make shit happen. Peace.